A good safety culture in a school is one where I guess every member of staff, including the pupils to be fair, are all pulling in the same direction. So they know and understand the commitment that the school has with regard to health and safety. It's given us the number one priority. It's what we need to do first before we teach the children, is to make sure that we have a safe environment and the things that we do with the children are indeed safe. A good safety culture means everybody understands and knows their role, and that the school will always put safety first in any given scenario. A health and safety policy has three main functions essentially. So the first would be to outline the commitment that the school has to health and safety. Effectively a statement saying this is what we will do to comply with both the law but also ethically and morally with the way that they wish to go about managing safely. The second part would be outlining who is responsible for what. So it's the bit that says who does what with regard to the management of health and safety and different risk elements. The third part would be setting out the arrangements for how the school manages different aspects of risk that it has to manage on a day-to-day basis. Well, I would say initially a really good place to start for any school would be to have an audit. And that means somebody who's competent coming into the school and trying to understand, by way of gap analysis I suppose, as to where that school sits in terms of compliance. But not only compliance, in terms of their cultural attitude to safety as well. So trying to find and benchmark where they are currently and instigating a plan to take them forward to where they need to be. If they don't have a plan, then they don't know where they're ultimately going to end up. That's the problem, I suppose, is that we have to have that plan so that we can plan improvement over time. Secondly would be to have a training programme which includes safety. Very often I'll see training programmes in schools which will focus more on CPD type training than anything else. Schools know and understand that they have to do continuing professional development for academic members of staff, but what seems to get missed off of that training programme is safety. So understanding the fact that teachers or anybody else needs to understand how to do risk assessments, and then risk specific elements as well, things like fire training, manual handling training, asbestos awareness for site staff, Legionella awareness, and just general safety awareness for all members of staff so they can understand what the school expects of them and what the issues are that they need to be aware of. And the third thing would be ensuring that safety plays a part in any meeting that the school holds. So a very, very simple tip, but by having safety as the first item on an agenda in a meeting, demonstrates the school's commitment to safety. As what it says subliminally is that the school puts safety before anything else. If safety is at the bottom of the agenda, what that is saying is that we have to do this, and we'll do this before any other business, as opposed to putting an emphasis upon it as being a very important thing. So simply having it on the agenda, or if there is a meeting without an agenda, just having the opportunity to discuss it and ask people their opinions, or if they have any particular safety issues, just makes the school a safer place to be. The number one issue that I find overlooked in schools tends to be powered gates. So many schools have instigated or implemented powered gates on site because they're very keen about improving security measures. That being said, gates are intrinsically machines. Very often I find that the right control measures aren't in place. And the thing that I see missing more than anything is a risk assessment from a competent person. So that's somebody trained in gate safety that is able to assess the machine, which is the gate, and determine what safety measures need to be on it or otherwise. I see around 80% of gates in schools that I consider to be not as safe as they should be.